So like I said, we have successfully transferred all the ingredients necessary to create just one of these into 4. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the laboratory exploit. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to do the laboratory exploit in Astroneer. Now, this is just a little warning. I have been told that this has been known to crash and corrupt some game files by doing this. And I think it has something to do with the fact that once you do it, you cannot grab the partially created piles of material. Like, I can't pick up this steel right now for some reason. Anyways, we're going to be using what you see here today. Essentially, we're going to start off by making some graphene. What basically this glitch is supposed to do is multiply it across several different labs. And then you can use that in a chain to create several different nanocarbons. There's also another glitch that can give you a massive amount of hydrogen, and I'll explain that later. And this is proof right here that it works. I think I got about, I want to say 40 of them out of one batch by doing this glitch. And this is a group of RTGs that I got from last time when it successfully worked. So right off the bat, I'm just going to let you guys know that if you do this properly, you can get several RTGs in just like one graphene batch, basically. This glitch is intended to save you materials. I imagine it will be patched soon, but as of right now, it's still in the game. I'll probably keep this video updated to see if it goes down or not. Alright, so let's get started here. First thing you're going to want to do, we're going to want to create graphene. So naturally I have graphite and hydrogen in my backpack, and that's ready to get started here. I have all of these set on, they're supposed to be set on steel. Now as soon as I start making the graphene with the very first one, this one right here, I'm going to switch to this one and immediately switch to titanium alloy. Now what that's going to do is it's going to drag the graphene from inside the chemistry lab on the first one over here to where it says graphene here on the second one. And I'm going to do that for all 3 of them, essentially. So I'm just going to keep clicking on them and dragging over the titanium alloy, and then for each one it's going to move part of the graphene to this different laboratory. So essentially by doing this, you're going to multiply the 1 graphene you would create into 4 across all 4 laboratories. So alright, let me switch all these back and then I'll show you how it works. Now you have to be careful with this, because like I said, you cannot pick up the graphene once you've split it. The game won't let you do it. So here, I'll show you how it's done. Let's go ahead and start creating that. Go to this. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. Okay, now we now successfully have 4 split graphenes. 1, 2, 3, and there's the 4th one right there. Notice how I can't pick it up. It does not give me the option to pick up the graphene at all. We're going to set this down, move this here, move that there. Now, in order for you to actually get the graphene in a portable state, what you're going to want to do is completely fill all of the slots on the platform itself, on the extra large platform. And then all you can do is you can take this and just switch it off, and then boom, it will move it away. Looks like I had some steel left over that it took, so. And then you're just going to do that for all of them. There we go. I'm going to switch this over again. And there we go. Okay, now we can pick this here up, and as you can see, it's got 3 of our graphenes on it. And we'll just go ahead and swap this one here out. Just to be safe, I'm actually gonna take this. There we go. There we go. Now we successfully have all 4 of our graphenes on the storage container. So we can set this back down. We're going to put a chemistry lab back up here. I'll go ahead and grab my argon. Now, the next step would be creating titanium alloy. I have 1 titanium, we have 4 graphenes. I'm going to show you what we can do. Now, just one of these partial graphenes will work for this, by the way. So here, we're gonna do this. Move this over to here. Boom. Okay. This is gonna be our starter now. Ah, shoot. Yeah, gotta pick that up. Like I said, fill all the slots on here so that you're movable. See how that iron just got stuck right here? Or I'm sorry, that's steel. The steel got stuck on the platform. I had to pick it back up so I could put it back on here. There we go. Okay. So now this is going to be our starter. Now what we're going to want to do is, nanocarbon alloy uses titanium alloy, which is what we're about to make a nanocarbon. So we're going to have to set everything here to titanium alloy. And then when it's time to actually make it on the first one, we're going to switch all of these over to nanocarbon. Make sense? Okay, we're all set. Do I have my helium? I do not. There's some helium. Oops, I apologize. I need nitrogen to do that, which I have. I'm going to need helium in a second anyway, so let's hold on to that. So this right here will be our starter. Let's go ahead and start it. Boom. We just multiplied that into 4 different titanium alloys. There we go. Okay, so now we got everything on this here storage again. And all of these are empty. All of your chemistry labs should be empty at this point. Now, we're gonna go ahead and do this with steel. And once again, I'm gonna have it set to rubber this time. It's just easier for me. Then we're gonna switch to nanocarbon alloy because it uses steel as one of its main ingredients. Have it set to steel. Let's go ahead and start. There we go. We have successfully now split it into 4 different types of steel. Alright. Now that we have successfully duplicated all the main ingredients that we need for our nanocarbons, let's go ahead and start creating them. So, now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to replace this back here. Let's see, there's my helium. There we go. Now, these are 2 halves that we've already created. So we have 4 multiplicities of titanium and steel on here, so we can create 4 nanocarbons when technically, with the materials we used, we would have only been able to create 1. So thus today we have multiplied all of our resources by 4. And thus we're able to create 4 nanocarbons with what we've created. And there's the 4th. So like I said, we have successfully transferred all the ingredients necessary to create just 1 of these into 4. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the laboratory exploit. Once again, I'd like to remind you, you have to be very careful not to drop one of these on the ground by accident. If you try to pull it into your backpack, it will not work. If you drop it onto the ground, it won't be able to be picked back up. I imagine that's how people had their games crash beforehand. Once again, I just remind you to be careful. Think about what you're doing. Make sure all of your spaces are fulfilled. Like, see, I even have a graphene back here I forgot about. Don't let this happen. Make sure those spaces are filled. Okay, so I said I would explain how to create multiple hydrogens with just 1 batch. So basically all I used to get all of these was just 2 ammoniums and 1 hydrogen. And basically how you do it, so here you have your first one set to hydrogen. Put your ammonium and your hydrogen. As fast as you can, swap over to this one, which is fed on graphene. It has hydrogen as an ingredient in order to create graphene. What you're going to want to do is flip on and off, back and forth between either up or down between diamond to graphene or tungsten carbide to graphene. You just do that back and forth just like this, really fast. And essentially what it's going to do is it's going to constantly spit canisters out of here at a rapid fire as fast as you can go. Try to place them up here on this on the hydrogen required to make graphene. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how I ended up with 40 hydrogen canisters which every single one of them are capable of making a graphene. The only problem with that is you still have to use full graphite to use it, because there's no glitch currently that multiplies graphite. So if you want diamond, or if you want to make some titanium alloy, unfortunately you still have to use a full graphite to make it. But the hydrogen comes easy with this little laboratory glitch. You don't ever have to worry again about ammonium grinding. Ammonium is no longer a rare material because of this glitch. I imagine this will get patched soon, but for right now, enjoy the unlimited amount of hydrogen.